What's good, everybody? Welcome to the I Am Green Giant podcast. I am Green Giant. Thanks for coming through, guys. Stopping by, sliding through, saying what's up. Today, we're just going to talk about the basics. Thank you guys for sliding through. We're going to talk about getting our soil ready, preparing it for transplant, amending it. We're also going to be talking about water preparation. So I got some videos put together here. Nothing new, but some things in the past that you guys may have or may not have seen. And we're going to be talking about a couple of just random things. I got some compost stuff that we made, how to do your water. Excuse me, guys. Water preparation is going to be a really big key on everything. Let's see you guys. All right, let's get some music going. Let's get some stuff going here. Talk about the mulch, the water. Did I have some water videos? Okay, guys, this is the biochar right here. I just don't burn the wood all the way to charcoal. Let it have some carbon left. And this is the bone meal with the oyster shell powder. It also has eggshells, crab shells in here, guys. Lobster shells. This is going out to our organics. You can sift it, take out all the big particles. Now in this video, I'm going to wet it down a little bit, and then I'm going to put some leaves and probably some newspaper on top. That is ashes, eggshells, strawberries. Got some old banana peels, all your scraps. This is a 50-gallon worm bin. It makes my soil. So anyway, what I did there, guys, is I basically prepped the soil in the ground. I prepped the soil by adding eggshells, bone meal, oyster meal, and I dug a little hole, sprinkled some powder in there, which is the eggshell powder, bone meal, and then I transplanted my plants into the inoculated soil. Inoculating your soil is basically seasoning it up and getting it ready. It's like seasoning a recipe. You throw a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and that's what we did. We inoculated our soil. We're getting ready to transplant some more vegetables in the next day or so, and I'll show you guys. We're going to do it again and go over it one more time to make sure that everybody gets why we're inoculating the soil, so we don't have no trouble. We won't have no calcium deficiencies. We won't run across no CalMag deficiencies, no magnesium deficiencies, no potassium deficiencies, because they will be NPK in the soil. Bunch of coffee grinds are in the soil, a bunch of eggshells. We're putting a lot of NPK in the soil. We even diced up some banana peels, and we have dried banana peels you can turn to a powder, and also dried aloe that turns to ash once it dries in the sun for about 3 months. You grind up that aloe powder and you add that to your water and your feed. Just like you can add liquid aloe or the fresh aloe plant, you can peel it, fillet it, throw chunks of aloe in your water and feed your plants. So we're going over inoculating soil today. If you're new here, like, subscribe, and share. Thank you very much. My name is Giant, and I am Green Giant. This is the I Am Green Giant podcast, and thank you guys for showing up. What we're going to be focusing on in our garden is making sure that when you're growing outdoor vegetables, tomatoes, and herbs, that your soil is prepped. So all you have to do is water and feed when you want to. If you forget to feed, it's okay. Your plant's still going to be healthy. But you're going to have to inoculate the soil, which means throw your bone meal, throw a little bit. Maybe people use Dr. Earth. Some people use Gaia Green. Some people use all sorts of different things. And just inoculate your soils. Throw some Dr. Earth. Throw some bone meal. Throw some ashes in there, but make sure you don't use too many ashes because it will raise and lower your pH depending. So what you should be doing is using ashes more towards the end of your fruits and vegetables, especially if they're throwing fruits and flowers. You want to use ashes or ash water towards the end. Um, and a lot of magnesium. A lot of people are putting a lot of Epsom salt. I don't even use Epsom salt, but you can use it more towards the end. You need to have that NPK balance in the right time of your plants. So vegetation, you want a lot of nitrogen, of course. You know what I mean? You want to make sure your plants are growing, giving them vitamins. They're growing vegetation. And then you look at your numbers on your nutrients. You gradually bring it down. I completely stopped feeding. I only feed once or twice the Maxi Grow my tomatoes. Then after that, I bring it down just to fish emulsion. Then I actually let the plant balance out before it's ready to start producing tomatoes. Once it starts producing tomatoes, then we're going to top dress with Happy Frog. Happy Frog is a great amendment. They have great soil. They have great amendments. They have fruit, flower, and bloom, all organic. And I like using the fruit and flower. They also have veg. They have all sorts of other products. I recommend getting some of it and trying it out. It makes it really simple and easy. And if you can make your own amendments like bone meal, it's going to be great. You can make your own amendments to add to that. So you buy your stuff in the bag, your Happy Frog or your Dr. Earth, and then you still make your other amendments. You make your coffee grinds, you grind your eggshells, you grind your bones, you grind your lobster shells. Hope you guys are picking up what I'm putting down. And that's basically going to be getting your soil ready. And now it's just water. Let the outdoor rain take care of it. You water it when it needed. When it's needed to be watered, if you want to get more production out of your plant, I recommend dechlorinizing the water, letting it sit for a couple of days. Even more than 1 or 2 day water preparation, at least 24 hours water preparation with some type of dechlorination drops or some type of fish water conditioner for plants. It removes toxins, chemical, plant pathogens, and diseases. They also have one that removes metals from the water. Very critical. If you're looking at $10 a bottle at your local PetSmart or at your local fish store or pet supermarket or whatever, they have, even Walmart has a fish section where they have pet fish food and pet vitamins and stuff. It's in that section where they sell fish tanks, and you can buy small bottles for $5.99. It should last you a while. And it's recommended 1 drop per gallon. That's usually what I do in a 5-gallon bucket. I'll put a drop of the dechlorinizer water conditioner. The one that I use, it removes plant pathogens, bacteria in the water. It does so much. It dechlorinizes and it naturally pHs the water and keeps it right like at a 5. Gets it ready for me at like, my tap comes out about 4.44, but this brings it up to about a 5.2, and then I balance it out from there to 6.5 for the organics. And I try to keep it at a 6.5 all the way. Other than towards the end, we'll start bringing it up. So on the chart of the pH, if you look at it, the plant will start. If you start bringing your numbers higher, more towards a 7, you're basically locking out all of the nitrogen and making sure that it's getting potassium and magnesium at a majority of the time. Yo, what's up? Alaskan fish, yes, very good. You want to see the results? Alaskan fish fertilizer, very, very good. Very good. You got to mix it with a couple of different things. I mix it with a little bit of, let me see, there's a couple of things that we do. So we'll get into that since you asked a question, and we'll talk about that. Alaskan fish fertilizer is great. You have to use it a certain way and not overuse it or not underuse it. If you're overusing it, your grow is going to smell really fishy. If you're underusing it or using it just right, it will just smell for the night. But if you combine it, it's only like a 5-1-1. So it's got a lot of nitrogen, 1% potassium, 1% magnesium, or something like that. So anyway, You add a little Maxi Grow, add an aspirin, add some liquid nitrogen. You can make that yourself. Yo, yo, home grow, what's good? What's good? And it's very affordable, and I think it works great. Especially because I'm focusing on organic food, and I want to make sure everything's organic. Um, Even the sulfate that is in the Maxi Grow, there's some weird things, some big names and unpronounceable stuff. A lot of that is mined from the ground, and you can also get that from eggshells. But I like to give the Maxi Grow mixture with the fish emulsion and an aspirin. You can also add fish emulsion. You can add the fish poop or the molasses. Measure it all, a little bit of each, till you get it all equal parts, and then feed it at a 6.5 for your organics. Put some liquid silica in there, whatever you guys are going to use, you know. You made some compost tea? That's awesome. Cheers, cheers. How much per gallon? I mix in a 5 gallons at a time, 5 or 10 gallons. I do 2 of those or 1. So I fill it up about 3.5, 4 gallons. I put about 4 gallons in a 5-gallon bucket. I bubble it overnight, and then I throw like half a teaspoon or half a tablespoon and mix it and check my numbers. You need some compost tea for tomorrow. What stage are you in? Yo, yo. 2 weeks in. First 2 weeks of life. Home? What do you mean home? The next grow. First 2 weeks of life, I'm already feeding at 400. I'm already feeding at 400 ppm. It's going to get its first feedings of fish emulsion, aspirin. I give it all sorts of shit. I'll give it silica 2 or 3 times when they're little, and then give it to them towards the end. A little bit of molasses. Actually, a little bit of molasses. Alaskan fish poop. I do it all in a 5-gallon. I do 2 or 3 of them at a time sometimes. It's getting a little hectic. I'm not going to be making no more feed for my tomatoes because it takes too much time. They're going to get hose water here on out. Oh, this is your first feeding? Yeah, man. Oxygenate the water. And also, okay, so what I do, this is just my advice. I take a 5-gallon bucket, bubble it overnight, dechlorinize the water. If you don't have the drops, then I recommend getting some. Do it without, but go buy some water, conditioning water for aquatic fish and plants. It removes plant pathogens, diseases in the water, and it also dechlorinises it. Put a couple of drops, let that shit sit at least half the day. I let it sit maybe 24 hours. Depending how dry, you know, even if my garden, like was gone for 2 or 3 days, came home, my tomatoes were completely dry. So I had to mix up a quick batch. I just let it bubble with the drops for like 3 hours. And then I went and fed the tomatoes. So yeah, bubble it. Get that fish conditioner from the store that removes plant pathogens and chlorine and metals. I have 2 different types. I have one that balances the pH, really takes away metals, pollutants. Then I have another one that does plant pathogens and dechlorinizes and does something else. So definitely try that. Um, then you add half a teaspoon or 1 teaspoon of fish emulsion to like 4 gallons of water. I'm mixing it light because I'm adding 3 things. I'm adding the aspirin, one powdered regular. They have all natural aspirin, or they have regular powdered aspirin. You can buy it. It doesn't have a liquid shell or anything. It's just aspirin, regular aspirin. Maybe a little molasses if you want, if you have it. A little silica. And then I let that bubble now for another 5-6 hours. But as soon as it just gets a little, like it looks like a witch's brew on top, I check it with the pH pen. Usually I get it right. Yep, let it sit for 24 hours. You use micro worm castings and molasses. Yeah, you can do that. Micro worm casting, molasses. If you want to have strong roots, I'll show you guys. Look, in the next, you guys keep on coming through and sticking by. I got some clips from earlier, a couple of years ago. I just downloaded them. I'm going to show you guys some of the results of the roots from using aspirin. It keeps the roots clean. Um, it helps them grow stronger. It helps the leaves. It helps everything. It helps everything. So I do recommend definitely feeding the plant aspirin. That's an old grandma trick, man. Um, when you make your compost tea too, you can add a little bit of coffee grinds. If you have some fresh coffee grinds, especially because they're young, if you're making a compost tea, as long as you're using a pH pen and balancing it right, um, you make that compost tea, you can sprinkle a little bit in there. It will keep them dark, keep them nice and green. Nitrogen. It's nitrogen. Just using what you have. Yep, that's what you do. Use with what you got. Use with what you got, man. Another cool thing that I don't know if you know, you can feed your plant Tums. The fruit flavored Tums that just has magnesium, calcium, and potassium. It has NPK in it. Guys, give me 1 second. I'll be right back. Yo, what's good, guys? I thought it booted me, but I had to answer a phone call. Um, so yeah, eggshells, oyster shells. I made this shit right here. I know if you guys, I'm sure you guys saw this. Let me see. In this video right here, I have some bones and eggshells and oyster shells, and I'm gradually, it takes a while, but put on safety glasses. I'm breaking it all down. Cheers, green girl. Thank you for coming through. Appreciate it. So these are some of the clips we got going here. So they're broken down, guys. You see the powder, the fine powder underneath right here. Very good. And I'll show you guys, you put them right side up. And you get it to a nice powder. That's basically it. I'm showing them the compost bin, a couple of things that I've been making. I took all the scraps, got a new now in this video, I'm going to wet it down a little bit, and then I'm going to put some leaves and probably some newspaper on top. That is ashes, eggshells, strawberries, got some old banana peels, sweet, all your scraps. This is a 50-gallon worm bin. It makes my soil. So that's what we've been talking about. Cheers. I wanted to show Green Girl. This is her first time here, guys. Appreciate all you guys showing up. Warm welcomes to everybody. Show her a couple of things that we did with trying to make some soil, which we did. We made some great soil. Let me see if I can find the one with the soil, guys. We made some really great soil. Early morning, I want to show you guys the bottom of the worm bin real quick, how they're getting in. And if you see those holes right there, those are the worms that are coming in the ground in to eat the food. Hey guys. Thank you guys for sticking and staying. This is the I Am Green Giant podcast. Thank you guys for showing up in general, dropping a like, or just hanging around, asking a question. This is a channel about growing. We grow as a community, and we just grow in general. We're growing gardens, we're growing organically, and we're growing to save money. It's great for the mind, body, and soul. And that's what we do here, guys. So thank you guys so much for coming. I can't even talk right now, for coming to the show. And we're going to be hitting a couple of other topics later on in the week. I just wanted to get over getting our soil ready and how to get the soil inoculated, because a lot of people don't know how to get your soil prepared. They usually buy soil and they don't feed it, and they think their garden is just going to grow. You definitely have to feed your garden to keep it growing. And that's going to be our goal this season, is to grow great vegetables and to keep feeding and keep growing, maybe through the whole season. It's looking like there's only a month or two where it really gets cold and it continues to grow. Everything grows really healthy. So we're going to continue to grow and maybe build a greenhouse this year, a small little mini greenhouse. So thank you guys so much for coming to the I Am Green Giant podcast. I wanted to make sure I stuck to the deal and definitely did a nice podcast for you guys. Explained a couple of things. We are going to be talking about watering in general. And once we get our plants nice and healthy and veg, we're going to be talking about transitioning, even plant training your bottom of your tomatoes and your pepper plants so they can produce more peppers, tomatoes, and vegetables. Because if you don't train your plant or defoliate or keep your plant clean, you are adding pests. You are, inviting pests and adding, things that really don't need to be there. So your leaves are there, they're taking up light, they're taking up room. Once you remove those leaves and begin to prune and trim the plant, different things begin to happen as you train the plant as it grows. And as soon as it flips and the sunlight changes outside, you'll notice that you'll get, instead of 5 bundles of tomatoes, you'll get 10 bundles of tomatoes. Thank you guys so much for coming to the show. I Am Green Giant. Just wanted to say what's up to everybody. and do this quick podcast tonight. Don't forget that we do a podcast every Wednesday night at about 8:30, 8:45. It all depends the schedule, but it usually starts around 8. So don't forget to hit the bell for notifications, like, subscribe, share, and if you got this far through the video, thank you guys so much. I appreciate it. Drop a comment if you watch the video after the show, and remember, support is always free. Um, so just remember, guys, inoculate your soil, treat your water. Make sure that when you're treating your water, you're treating it right for the right things. You're not just bubbling your water, because a lot of people do use, there's many different waters. You have so many different choices. You can go straight from the tap. You can bubble your water. You can use bottled water. People use bottled water. You can use distilled water, but every water is going to be used in a different way and have different ways to pH and treat it. Yo, yo, yo. Yo, Tomatoes, what's good? Where you been at, Tomatoes? I got some videos here, man. Thanks for coming to the stream. Let's get into some shit right here, bro. In this video right here, I have some bones and egg shells and oyster shells, and I'm gradually, it takes a while, but put on safety glasses. I'm breaking it all down. So they're broken down, guys. You see the powder, the fine powder underneath right here. Very good. And I'll show you guys, you put them right side up. And you get it to a nice powder. So, Tomatoes, welcome into the podcast. Thank you very much for showing up. Thank all you guys. At the end of the show, I'll shout out to all you guys. Make sure that I give shout outs so other people can definitely check out your channel. If people watch the show at the end, I'll give a shout out if they made it all the way through to this point. But Tomatoes, man, we're doing some really cool things, man. We're making some soil. We have the worms making the soil. We have some new beds we made. We're growing some vegetables. We're talking about inoculating the soil with homemade amenities. Yes, amenities. Okay. And we're going to, oh my goodness. We're going to be using coffee grinds, egg shells, oyster shells, crab shells, lobster shells. And that's what we did. We basically inoculated the soil with the coffee grinds, the egg shells, the lobster shells, the oyster shells, the bone meal, the beef, the pork bones that were dried. Heck yeah, everybody's getting big, man. If weather's about to change, give it another week or two, everybody will be hot. 2 or 3 weeks, whole globe will be warm again. We'll be wanting it to be cold. That's good. Work's busy though, man, for you. That's very good. You gotta keep it, when work's coming in, you gotta take it as it comes. But yeah, we're talking about just making soil, man, making some different type of stuff to add to the soil that we have at home, like saving your lobsters and your crab shells. I even once a month go out and buy like lobster for dinner and save the shells. Shave my mussel shells. Oyster shells are the main one. The oyster shells are like gold. And a lot of times you can go to your basically baker or your local clam place or that has mussels or shellfish, and they'll give you a couple of bags. They'll be more than willing to give it to you than throw it away. Even the bakeries will give you egg shells and stuff, banana peels. But we're gonna be making all sorts of. I have a huge bag of the dried oyster shells, and I made biochar. We burned up some white oak and chipped off all the old bark, half and half, and added the half charcoal and burnt bark to our soil. And we've been doing a lot of different things. Like, not only are we amending it, but we're feeding, we're top dressing. We're doing this all to our tomato garden. We're making sure that we're going to have some nice fresh produce this year, because the way prices are, I'm definitely not going to pay $5.99 for 4 tomatoes. Um, I can grow tomatoes, you know. They can, and the next thing could be, they could be stopping us from growing our own vegetables and stuff, and wanting people to make sure that whatever you're growing doesn't have pathogens. I mean, we gotta, if they do it to chickens, they'll do it to our food. They'll do it to everything. So we got to make sure that we can supply some food for us. We got to be able to supply a little bit of food for us. Grow enough for you, your neighbors, to give some away, and for you to eat good. Freeze some of it, can some of it. I just did a huge garden. I'm doing lettuce, tomatoes, cucumbers. Now I went all out. I went and spent $5. I got lettuce. I got a whole pack of lettuce. I got microgreens, cucumbers, watermelon, some zucchini, some cilantro, and onions, because I had peppers. I had tomatoes already. So I just got a couple of odds and ends. But now the garden is going to be tremendous. You guys get ready for this garden. It's going to be tremendous. I'm trying to organize and deal with it now. And think I'm going to build a little greenhouse so we can have some vegetables during the winter. Um, Other than trying to grow a tray, by a window, have a little greenhouse, something. I'm gonna try to build something outside because I got a couple of beds. I got a good 10 by 10 space I could use. I want to do an in the ground. Hopefully, I don't hit no wires, but I want to go in the ground about a foot, 2 feet in the ground, all around the greenhouse, and have it an in-ground greenhouse. If you guys know what that is. Yo, what's good? Hold on one second, guys. If you cross a regular male with the feminized female, would the seeds be regular or feminized? They'll be regular. They'll be regular. You could get more fem, but they'll be regular. That's the way nature works. It's crazy. Fennel. Where'd you come from, Fennel? You new here? Like, subscribe. We are gonna hit 1,000 subs, guys. Can you believe this? Can you guys shoot me some support here? Come on now. Give me some credit. I've been working hard on the YouTube channel. I haven't been streaming that much, but a lot of people are liking the shorts, and a lot of other fellow growers, people who just grow tomatoes and do gardens, are starting to come to my channel more, which I'm very blessed on that. And we're going to be doing some cool things, man. I don't know. It all depends the strand. It's possible. It's possible, but you never know. If it's a trait like that, you want to eliminate it. Any traits that are like that, you want to eliminate. You can back cross it, yeah, and stabilize it a little bit, but it's not guaranteed. It still could pop out down the generations, down the line, especially if it's grown in the wrong environment. Thank you for coming in, everybody. I appreciate everybody for supporting the channel. Let's get into some videos, though, and talk about making soil and some organic stuff here. Now in this video, I'm going to wet it down a little bit, and then I'm going to put some leaves and probably some newspaper on top. That is ashes, eggshells, strawberries, got some old banana peels, sweet, all your scraps. This is a 50-gallon worm bin. It makes my soil. Hey, thank you. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Thanks for coming in. Yo. We on the gardening channel. We on a whole new level. Yeah, here we go. Turn up the bass. Lower the tremble. We don't need no trouble. Don't one of us struggle. Let's talk about some bone meal. Alright, let's show this bone meal what it looked like in the beginning. Okay guys, this is the biochar right here. I just don't burn the wood all the way to charcoal. Let it have some carbon left. And this is the bone meal with the oyster shell powder. It also has eggshells, crab shells in here, guys. Lobster shells. This is going out to our organics. You can sift it, take out all the big particles. In this video right here, I have some bones and eggshells and oyster shells, and I gradually, it takes a while, but put on safety glasses, I'm breaking it all down. Yeah, and that's basically it, guys. So yeah, that's basically it. When we inoculate the soil with the bone meal, with the crab meal, we're growing free food, guys. We're growing free food. If you guys have watched my channel and the channel I had before this, we had a lot going on about saving your seeds from the store. Most of your seeds that I popped this year all came from the store, other than what I just bought, $5 worth of seeds. So all my seeds were free. I have the soil in the bed every year, and I just grow random things, that whatever we have seeds from. It does help a lot. We can make our own chilies. We make our own stir fries. It does help a lot. And it's nice to see the results and grow fresh food. It's really nice. It's one of the best things that I've seen out of growing, that a lot of people like, is the results and eating the food afterwards when it's at no cost. So saving the seeds, I've dropped some videos of how to pick your peppers, or pick what you like if you want to grow it, especially peppers. Go to the grocery store, pick a nice pepper you're going to eat for dinner, save the seeds. Right now you can just throw the pepper seeds in the ground and they'll grow. Thank you guys all for showing up. If you guys made it all the way through 40 minutes and 59 seconds, 41 minutes right now. If you guys made it all the way through to this point, thank you guys for showing up to the I Am Green Giant podcast. Shout out to you guys. Like, subscribe, and share. We're making it happen. We're going to hit 1K, guys. We are on our way to 1K. So let's continue the show. And actually, I have some more content, but I'm gradually explaining and showing couple of these new techniques and things that I've learned to get good results that I'm sharing with you guys, so we can go on to the next stage, which is going to be preparation for your veg time. Also going on to talking about your veg and your vegetable garden. You want to, I usually keep them on a rack indoors all winter for about a month. While we get our nice cold front. So my plants go outside. My tomatoes and peppers are already, 6 to 8 inches tall. They are ready to be transplanted into pots, and they're set free. So that's what I wanted to be talking about. Is this year we're going to get these vegetables going. We're going to have a nice free garden. Eat healthy, and that's it. Eat healthy and free. It takes no time to get out there, dig a hole, or buy a pot and put a seed in there and water it every day. So that's it, guys. It's really simple. We're going to 1K. We're going to 1K, guys. This is crazy. Crazy. This is one of my beds with the homemade soil that's made out of compost and leaves. There is a little more leaves that haven't broken down yet, but the soil is decent, as you see. And this is going to grow my green beans and peppers. This is just bricks, and it's in the ground and above ground bed. It's actually dug in the ground a little bit. And this was the soil that was made from the compost. Old roots, everything. So that was the soil, and I got to show you. This is one of my beds with the homemade soil that's made out of compost and leaves. There is a little more leaves that haven't broken down yet, but the soil is decent, as you see. And this is going to grow my green beans and peppers. This is just bricks, and it's in the ground and above ground bed. It's actually dug in the ground a little bit. And this was the soil that was made from the compost. Old roots, everything. Now in that bed, I just put a couple of peppers and green beans in the back. They are already like almost a foot tall. You can't even see them in the ground, but there are green beans popping up. And since I recorded this and showed you that about 2-3 weeks ago, the green beans are starting to already grow up that trellis I have. I have a trellis for vines to grow up. So there are green beans growing in there and 4 pepper plants I put in there. So let's hope, everything goes well. Keep on watering and keep on feeding. I top dress, so now if it rains or they want to eat, they can feed off of whatever's there. We use this for the top dress. It's kelp meal, blood meal, really good. This is the organic tomato and plant food by Vigoro. It is kelp meal with. This is the organic tomato and plant food by Vigoro. It is kelp meal with microbes, feeds the soil. Really good stuff, guys. We're just putting 1 or 2. Now in this video, I'm gonna wet it down a little bit, and then I'm gonna put some leaves and probably some newspaper on top. That is ashes, eggshells, strawberries, got some old banana peels, sweet, all your scraps. This is a 50-gallon worm bin. It makes my soil. Okay. Okay guys, this is the biochar right here. I just don't burn the wood all the way to charcoal, let it have some carbon left. And this is the bone meal with the oyster shell powder. Also has egg shells, crab shells in here guys, lobster shells. This is going out to our organics. You can sift it, take out all the big particles. So what we did is we got our soil ready and we used all those 3 key elements that you saw in the video. We used the healthy soil that was made from compost. We also used the biochar and the oyster meal with bone meal and crab meal. And we also, after we mixed the soil together, then we top dressed it with kelp, with the kelp and the blood meal. And the tomatoes have, I think one of them is 2 feet. They're growing a foot a week. I'm serious, almost a foot a week. So the recipe is great. Now we're going to get some rain. We won't have to worry about any watering. And we're going to set the garden and let it go. If you notice your tomato plants, you have to always make sure they're watered the right amount. You never want to overwater them, but they need a lot of water. So that's the thing about them. They need a lot of water, but they don't need to be overwatered. I was getting asked a couple of trick questions over here. And it's really simple. Once you realize you have those household items and you have eggshells and you have the crabs and you have like bone meal and stuff that are basically laying around, you go out to a restaurant, you order lobster, you order a meal, you got some lobster shells or something, or you go to a crab house, take home a little bit, wash them off, let them dry, turn them into bone meal. I was just looking at bags of bone meal. It was not, some were $9, the cheapest one were $9, $10 a bag for 4 pounds. And then they had a couple of more expensive brands of blood and bone meal for like 14. So why would you pay for it? You can make it, and actually it's better if you make it yourself because nothing's being added to it, nothing's being taken out of it, and you know what you're using. So that is really critical too. You know, I know what all these tomatoes and peppers that I eat this year are going to be just bone meal, old soil, and eggshells because they're not getting nothing else except top dressed with what they had. And I don't even think I'm going to do it again. I think it's more than enough. Because we pre-amended the soil with the eggshells, the coffee grinds, the fresh, healthy soil. Thank you guys for coming to the show. Like, subscribe, and share if you're new here. You made it all the way through the end of the show, guys. We're going to call it and do the countdown. I thank you guys so much for coming through. Like I always say, nothing good's going to be easy, and nothing easy is good, guys. And you know how that goes. When you work hard at everything you do, things come and go. When you don't, things just go. So don't give up ever on your dreams, guys. Nothing's going to be easy. Nothing's going to be, nothing good, it never equals. So if it's going to be good, remember, you're going to work hard for it. And over time, your goals will amount, they will begin to stack up, and you will gradually grow as a person. So it's growing food in general and keeping a plant alive and growing it and taking care of it is very critical. It's like life. You have to take care of yourself and water yourself. You begin to water other things in your life and not nurture yourself, you begin to die. So on that note, guys, never give up on your dreams. Peace out. Thank you guys so much for coming to the show. Like I said, like, subscribe, and share. There's so many other growers here to check out and great people that came into the show tonight. So you got Home Grow, you got the Next Grow, you got green tomatoes, you got 4 green tomatoes. So thank you guys so much for coming into the show. Like, subscribe, share, leave a comment. Like I said, if you guys watch it afterwards, shout out to you guys. Peace out. Let's do the countdown. Have a little music. Peace out. Yo, yo, what's good? Always at the end of our show, we always go back into it and say to a couple of people that are always watching and waiting, that was our countdown. Wouldn't be possible if it wasn't for you guys. We're about to hit 1K. If you're watching this video after the stream, this is the I Am Green Giant podcast. I am Green Giant. We grow food, hydroponics, and we grow in general. That's the way life grows. You have to be buried in darkness to come and see the light. You have to be watered, taken care of, and eventually you will bear fruit. Thank you guys so much for coming into the show. Drop a comment, like, subscribe, share. This is the end of our stream. Never give up on your dreams. Whoop, whoop. Peace out, everyone. Word up, Home Grow, shout out. You guys give me a like after the stream if you can, and drop a comment. It is greatly appreciated. If you would go after I drop the stream right now, if you see it in your stream or your feed and you learned anything, or you want to teach me something or give me any advice of things that you guys want to give me, any advice that things that you guys use. What's good, Anthony? Gonna have to hang out now for a couple of minutes. Anthony came in. So yeah, what do you guys use? You know, what are you guys using for feeding during veg? What do you guys feed in vegetation? That's what I want to know. What's your secret recipe? What do you guys what are you guys familiar with, and what are you comfortable with feeding? And if you were going to eat the vegetables and consume it, what are you comfortable with feeding your vegetable garden, your plants? We're going to go a full hour. Let's hope we get some watch time for these video guys. My growing podcast, my views are through the roof. We got 100,000 views for the YouTube channel. Subs galore. I don't know how many more watch hours I need, but guess what? You know, YouTube sent me that little thing that says, hey, you're almost there. So we've been working hard on the channel. Compost tea. We were talking about compost tea. I used to make a lot of compost teas, but now I just feed. And I do a compost tea. I do a witch's brew, which is the same thing. I bubble up my compost tea and just do it like a bunch of random shit and let it bubble. I used to use a lot of worm castings and shit, but honestly, I was buying worm castings and I wasn't getting the results. I felt like I was wasting money. Now I got my own worms in my garden, fresh soil, so it's different. I already smashed the like. Thank you guys. I can't see it, just so you know why I ask you guys is because you can't see the likes on StreamYards. So I only get to see them after the stream. and it's completely different. But I'm gonna get the hours, so I appreciate you guys. That's why we're gonna go another 4 minutes. And if you guys are using compost tea, though, what do you guys use in your compost tea? You know, and what are you guys feeding during veg, though? What do you feed? What is your go? My go-to feed is Alaskan fish fertilizer with aspirin. And my first couple of feeds, I use maybe a little bit of the Maxi Grow from GH, and then um, that's really it. And a little molasses. I even stopped using molasses. I haven't used it. And I was gonna buy some for the outdoor garden though to see if it affects my food scraps, worm castings. Okay, okay. That's almost the same concept. See, so I could use my compost in my bin and put that in a bag once it's rotten down and make a compost tea right out of that. And I was driving by the farm store and they had these bags set up outside and it had a sticker on it. It said random compost tea, $1.99 a bag. So they have pre-bags ready. But you can also make compost tea out of, like you said, scrapped vegetables, chicken poop, add a little bit of sugar and some bread too in the 5-gallon bucket and let it ferment and then drain that shit. I'm about to make some of that shit, show you guys the video. Thank you guys so much for coming through, liking the stream. Appreciate it. Molasses and banana tea. Yep. Honey. Yep. You can use honey, sugars, brown sugar, regular sugar. You can use sugar and salt. You should add just a sprinkle of Himalayan sea salt to that mixture, Anthony. Because then um, you're making like an energy drink, bro. Like you're making like an energy drink, basically. Like it's almost consumable by us, you know. And that's what's really good about it. But anyway, and that's a true fact. That's a true fact. If you think about um, an energy drink, what it's made out of, a little bit of salt, sugar, potassium, magnesium. It's got a lot of vitamins in it. Um, only thing is, it can get really nasty if you start using the fish poo, and it just can get absurd. So you just got to use it right. Um, but it does help. You're adding minerals to the soil. You're keeping your microbes fed with that. You know. Let's just play some videos, and then we're gonna call it because people were leaving. Now in this video, I'm gonna wet it down a little bit, and then I'm gonna put some leaves and probably some newspaper on top. That is ashes, eggshells, strawberries. Got some old banana peels, sweet, all your scraps. This is a 50-gallon worm bin. It makes my soil. All right, guys. Peace out. Appreciate all you guys for sticking and staying, leaving a comment. Shout out to everybody who came through the stream. Anthony, Homegrown. Who else came through? Tomatoes, Green Girl, The Next Grow, Homegrown, and Fitty over there. All right. So thank you guys so much for coming through the stream. If you guys see this after the stream, like, subscribe, share, leave a comment. Appreciate you guys. Nothing easy is going to be good, and nothing good is going to be easy. Green Giant signing out. Peace.